What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video. Today we're continuing the series of NHL trade deadline previews, of course leading up to the deadline on February 25th. I'm currently recording this on Tuesday, February 5th, so if something changes between now and when you're watching this video, I can't predict the future. Anyways, I'm going to be looking at all 31 NHL teams before the NHL trade deadline, and today I'm going to be discussing the Buffalo Sabres. Now, if you haven't seen the other previous previews, or if you're just skimming through previews, make sure to check my channel and check out all the other ones, and if you're new, make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, this is going to be an interesting video because when the season started, I think people predicted that the Buffalo Sabres were going to be a decent team and that they would be in the hunt for a playoff position. And I think the Sabres are in a really good position not to do anything before the NHL trade deadline. And if they do, it will be a very minor move because they have made moves in the season, and leading up to the season, they made good moves. Of course, getting Skinner was a great move for them. They got Connor Sheary. I believe that was a mid-season trade, or at least near the beginning of the season. But they've made some pretty decent moves, and their current cap space is just over $3 million. But the off-season is when they're going to have quite a bit of money. It's looking right now that they have $28 million in cap space towards the end of the season. I think this is when they'll be players, and that number probably will go up to $30 or $31 million. Now, there are quite a few free agents that will be available this summer that the Buffalo Sabres could be looking at, and the reason why you see in the thumbnail Jeff Skinner is there is because that's the first guy that they're going to be looking at. So they've got guys locked up, they've got a decent roster, and I think that if the Buffalo Sabres were looking to do anything significant, it would be in the offseason. They have a lot of conditional picks, which could give them 2 extra first-round picks. They already have a first-round pick. They have multiple picks going on in the years coming. They have traded some of those deeper picks away. They don't have their second this year. But I would imagine that come the draft and the offseason is when they'll really be busy. The only way I could see them making a move towards the deadline this year, Botterill would probably, Jason Botterill, that just came out of my mouth wrong, but Jason Botterill will probably make a move if it makes sense for their team now in the future. I think that because of their cap space going into next season, they could make a trade with a team where they get an asset that they can use for years coming and also take salary on to, make a good trade with another team, not giving up too much. So that's something that they could be looking at. They're not exactly right in the hunt for a playoff. Well, you know what? That's a lie. They really are in the hunt for a playoff position. They're currently third in the wild card situation. They have 56 points. I don't even know why I said initially that they wouldn't be in the playoff hunt. The reason why I kind of caught myself on that is because while I do think Buffalo is a good team, I don't know if they're a team that will go into the playoffs and, be great. Now, if you look at a team like Columbus, if they hold on to Panarin and Bobrovsky and the pieces they have, their blue line is really solid. They're a team that could just explode. Same thing with Boston. Montreal's one of those teams too where I'm like, I don't really know, but they possibly could if Carey Price goes on a crazy run, because he is Carey Price, and we know Tampa Bay and Toronto have been really good this season as well. But I don't know if Buffalo really needs to force themselves to make a move here. They could do what the Leafs did a couple years ago and pick up a Brian Boyle type of addition where, it's a vote of confidence for the room. Like, hey, listen, we got you a little bit of help here, to fill out one of your bottom 6 or whatever. He can help with the leadership and getting us with into the playoffs with experience. Go with it. But I don't believe that they're going to want to make any dumb moves where it's, giving up the future to just make a quick run as a rental this year. I think that they really want to get Skinner's contract done. And I don't know if they're going to do it in season. I think they'll probably wait till the off season. Losing Skinner would suck for the Sabres. I think that they've really found a good place for him, and I think that it would work out. But I do think that they'll be interested in keeping Skinner and adding in free agency rather than adding now. But again, going back to my point, if they were to pick up a couple pieces that could be valuable for this year for a playoff run and keeping them next year, that could be something that Buffalo looks into as well. I couldn't really think of a lot of names that they'd be interested in, because a guy like Simmons, that's a rental. A guy like Ferland, that's a rental. And I don't think a lot of teams would be, I don't think Buffalo, it would be worth it for them to go after those rental guys. Skinner is almost acting as an own rental right now. And if they were to make a trade for a guy like Simmons or Ferland and, God forbid for Sabres fans that Skinner leaves and then of course they lose the rental player that they got because they don't want to stay either, then it's like, okay, now we're kind of starting over trying to get more help up front. I really think it would be smart for the Sabres right now to just stay pat, go with the flow, maybe add a guy that you can take on salary and get a good player back as well while not giving up too much. And, make sure you're getting a player for next season as well. So I know this video isn't too exciting for Sabres fans or even people that like trade rumors, but I do think that the Sabres are in a good position to be active in the offseason and not towards the NHL trade deadline. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. And make sure to check out all the other deadline previews. I hope my camera hasn't been shaking this whole time. I keep trying to move, but I think the camera's been moving anyways. I hope not. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.